Hi, welcome to the Reluctant Sisters channel. My name is Adrienne, I'm the Reluctant Knitter. You can find me on Ravelry as Reluctant Knitter with no E in the knitter, and on Instagram as the Reluctant Knitter. I'm not on Ravelry very much, but that's where I am. I'm here today with a baby knits minisode. So it's also baby makes, actually, it's not just knits, but it's not knits at all. It's all crochet. So my husband's cousin had a baby on this, I don't even remember. I think the due date was the 7th, but I don't remember when she actually had the baby. But anyway, I have been making some things for the baby, and they also have a 4-year-old, her and her husband. And so I have made something for the 4-year-old. So I am here to kind of go over what I've made. And because I don't think I'm going to film a podcast and I have to get it out. I kind of want to get the box out this week. So they live out of state from me. So I kind of want to get the box out this week, and I don't think I'm going to film a podcast with my sister. So I want to do a little mini-sode to show it off. So thanks for joining me, and welcome to my woes of crocheting baby things. I like the way baby things look crocheted. They're not the funnest to knit, and I forever do this to myself. I have a latte. I actually don't know if it's a latte or cappuccino. I put some foam on it, so I think it's a cappuccino. This is in a mug that a dear friend of mine gifted me. So there you go. And it's probably going to go cold because I'm probably not going to drink it while I'm talking to you. I think that's it. Let's get down to business. Let me take a sip first. Let's go. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I had reached out to my cousin's sister-in-law. It doesn't matter. I reached out to a friend and asked what the 4-year-old liked. I know that the family as a whole, the husband, the father, is into like Star Wars stuff, but I didn't know if the little boy was into Star Wars stuff. So I reached out secretly and I asked, and I was told Legos and trains. And I said, wouldn't it be an amazing idea to crochet an entire train? What a brilliant idea. So I looked online, I looked on Ravelry, I saw there were like a bunch of different pattern pages for different train cars from this particular designer. Turns out it's an entire set, and it was like on the website, like you couldn't get it through Ravelry. So, excuse me. So that's what I did. I went on the website and I downloaded this PDF file that was 28 pages long, and it was several pieces. I made some modifications. I obviously didn't do all of them, clearly. Honestly, I don't know if I would have survived. I really don't know if I could have survived doing all the pieces. So the pattern is the Choo Choo Train by Agnes Russell. If you would like me to share it with you, I will. I don't think I'm going to link anything down below, but if you're really, really interested in torturing yourself, just like I torture myself, then reach out to me and I'd be happy to share that with you. So it had a bunch of different pieces. It had a bunch of cars. It had the engine. I'll go into them in more detail, but the engine, the caboose, the cattle car, there was a tender car, and then there was a passenger car, which I decided not to do. There were also several auxiliary pieces like railroad crossing signs, trees. I don't think there was railroad tracks. A guy, like a engine operator, passenger that's supposed to go in here. So there was like lots and lots and lots of things, lots of options. I decided to do 3 cars at the very minimum. I had thought I would possibly do 4. I decided after 3 I could take no more. Obviously I did the engine. You can't have a train without an engine. And I did the caboose because you can't have a train without a caboose. And then I don't want to say I did the easiest car because I do think the tender car was easier. But I wanted like a fun car. So this was like probably the second easiest car. It probably was actually the hardest because the passenger car looked pretty easy too. But anyway, I digress. I wanted something you could put like his animals in. I thought that was very cute. And then I had possibly was going to do the tender car, which was basically just like this, but with no slats. So I chose these three and then I quit. So I knit this all out of Joann's yarn, Big Twist. Yes, Joann's Big Twist. And I used a bunch of colors. Looks like 5 here, but I could be missing one. But anyway, the blue is Sapphire. The yellow is Pale Yellow. The red is Varsity Red. And then black is just black. And there's gray in the wheels. I'll show you when it's closer up. And that is medium gray. So let me show them to you closer. So this is the engine. I made some modifications to this. So the first modification I did was this engine had a face and like hands. I don't want to call them weird because I don't want to like dog on this person's pattern, but they're weird. They looked weird to me, so I didn't do them. And then I also did not do a gauge. So in her pattern, she has all of this inside is all canvas, plastic canvas. And so she had templates set out, but because I didn't do a gauge, I knit the recommended, crocheted on the recommended hook, which is a G. But I didn't gauge. So like if I cut out the plastic canvas, the plastic canvas pieces would have been too big to fit my crochet pieces. So I kind of had to like hold up the crochet piece, finished crochet piece, and then like cut the plastic canvas accordingly. So yeah, there's something on this. So this is what it looks like up front. There's like a little thing. It's super crooked. I like actually, I kind of hate it, but I think it looks terrible. This is supposed to be like more curved and whatever. I hate it. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say about this. There's a bell, which I had to buy 10 of online because I couldn't buy just one. So I have bells all over my house for my cat, like attached to different like things. But anyway, this is this. And then it has like a little knuckle. They call this a knuckle, and it has a snap underneath it, which then snaps into the next car. The snaps are not very strong, so if you pick it up all at once, it does fall apart, but I don't, whatever. That's that. Okay. The next one is the Livestock Car. Very basic. There's not really much to talk about. There's like 2 pieces for the bottom, which is interesting. It was supposed to be further apart, but because my gauge didn't match, it wasn't further apart. So you're supposed to stuff it with polyfill so that it's sturdier, but I didn't have enough room to do that. I'm sure I did, but so yeah, then this is all plastic canvas. Some of the things that were very tedious about the pattern was for the wheels, you actually have, you're supposed to knit like double the wheels. So there's 4 wheels. You're supposed to knit, I'm sorry, I keep saying knit, crochet 8 of them and then put them back to back with plastic canvas. I did not do that. I actually just knit, I'm really sorry, crocheted, just like a black circle and then put them back to back. I didn't really feel like it was necessary to do these. These are like, what do they call them? Front something, front, whatever, you like go down in the thing, but I can't explain it. But I didn't really feel like it was necessary to do all these spokes double. You're not even gonna see them. You just see the front. So that's a modification I did for all of the wheels, not just on this. And that's it. The other thing that was tedious about this one in particular was, there's like hair all over it. These are all like separate pieces. So you crochet this, crochet this, crochet this, crochet this. Then you sew it to plastic canvas and then you sew it on the top after you do. I mean, it's for sturdiness, I guess, but I thought it was very tedious. Listen, I don't mean to dog on this pattern. The pattern was clearly written. It's very detailed. I think it was free. So, I mean, but if you don't have a lot of patience, don't do this. I have a lot of patience and I struggled. So anyway, that's the Livestock. I keep wanting to call it cattle, but it's Livestock Car. And then the last one I did was the caboose. I did unintended modifications on this because, like I said, my gauge was off. And so the unintended modification is that this is supposed to be on both sides. This is like a little overhang with a gate. That's supposed to be on the front as well, because my gauge was off. I didn't have enough real room. The intended modification I did was there's supposed to be a passenger that is sewn inside. And I don't know if you can see this, but if I get close, you can see that there's like, this is for like stability, where you like crochet these pieces so that, first of all, so that this curves and so that there's stability to the car. Those are sewn in, and then the pattern is written where everything is sewn completely, like the doors are sewn completely all the way around. So you crochet a passenger, sew him in the seated position, and sew him inside. And then none of the doors open and you can't get the guy out. So I don't know, I'm picturing myself as a child, and when I was a child, I really loved like super interactive toys where like I used to have like this pop-up book, and like some of the things wouldn't open and it came with like a little doll, and then you like put the doll in the different scenes. Like I loved really interactive, and some pieces weren't interactive and that annoyed me. So I'm thinking to myself, me as a child having this thing that's completely sewn up and a person inside. First of all, I can't get the guy out, and second of all, I can't put any of my guys in. Like if I have like little toys, I can't put any in. So I thought that would be frustrating, and it probably teaches object permanence or some psychological garbage, but I don't think psychology is garbage. I think psychology is very interesting, but it probably teaches object permanence, but what it taught me was super frustration. So the intended modification was I didn't knit that guy that you can't even see anyway, and you can't even take him out. I'm not wasting my time on that guy. And also the unintended modification of not having this gate here is that I left this so you can open it, and then you can put somebody in there, and it doesn't really fit right, and it makes it look super wonky. But as a child, I feel like I would have appreciated that more than it looking perfect and fitting perfect and not being able to put anything in or take anything out. So that was that. There you go. And then this didn't really fit right and had to stretch it super bad. And then literally you have to sew around every single thing of this, and you have to sew around every single thing of this and every single thing of that. And it's just like my hands hurt, and it was just like not fun. But it's done, and I'm glad, and I hope he loves it. And don't tell him that I hated doing it, because I don't want him to feel bad. Okay, don't tell him. That's it. That's it. I spent so much time on this that I kind of regretted not making more for the actual baby. And when people are having a second or a third child, I really like to gift the current children the siblings, because sorry, my hair. Because I feel like when a baby comes along and they get all kinds of presents and attention and everybody loves a baby, I feel like as a jealous sibling, I would want the attention. And the reason why I want the attention is because I'm the actual baby in my family. I have 2 older sisters. I have a younger brother who came along much later, so I really am like the youngest, and he's more of like an only child. But anyway, I don't like when other people are getting attention. So I like relate to the sibling who's like getting another sibling and being like, where's my toy? So I like to do something for the sibling. However, this took so long that I kind of wish, and now the baby has arrived, so I don't want to say I'm like out of time, but I do want to get these gifts off. I can knit the baby more stuff or make the baby stuff and send it later. That's not an issue at all, but I kind of wish I had like more gifts that I had like, well, I mean, I did hand make. So I crocheted something for the baby and I also sewed some things for the baby. I don't sew, so don't get excited. But so it's not like the baby doesn't have anything, but I don't know, I kind of like wish I did like a sweater or something. Let's get to what I knit the baby girl. The new baby girl, like I said, they are Star Wars fans. So I decided, wouldn't it be great to crochet a photo prop, basically, costume for the baby. So I crocheted a Princess Leia photo prop set. I will show you all the pieces. I can't hold them all up so you can see them. This is the Princess Leia set by Natalia Tirukova. This is on, you can find it on Etsy, but I mean, you can find it on Ravelry, but I do believe I had to buy the pattern on Etsy. This, along with this baby set, did not have any like projects, and it didn't have like any reviews really, and that's honestly the last time I'm going to do that, because this was also, it was a little bit confusing of a pattern. I didn't feel like it was thorough enough. It definitely is not beginner friendly. I would consider myself a beginner crocheter. It was not beginner friendly because it didn't explain a lot of stuff. It was very, very, very simple. It was an inexpensive pattern, and I do feel like it was a good value because you did get, I think you got like a few different sizes. So the value is good, but for like a not experienced crocheter, very, very limited in my knowledge of crochet. I had to Google a lot of stuff. I had to YouTube a lot of stuff. So that's my little critique about the pattern, which isn't really a critique about the pattern. It's more a critique about me, I guess. I just don't think I was advanced enough. Okay, so let's get the big thing out of the way. I'm going to have to lint roll this stuff. This is the Princess Leia hair. All of this stuff is also knit out of Big Twist, Joann's Big Twist, minus this. This is Red Heart Super Saver in coffee. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark, but I'll hold it up closer. So it's just like a little bonnet. It's like kind of an odd shape. I personally feel, but this is the first time I've ever knit something, crocheted something like this. This could be like a perfectly normal shape, but it just kind of seems weird. The baby is not going to be like running around with it on their head. So it really just kind of has to sit there while the baby sleeps. So I'm sure it'll be fine. But that's that. And then it comes with a little diaper cover. This is the front, this is the back, little ruffle. This was kind of fun to crochet. I actually kind of liked this. I'm very sorry, I don't know what hook size I used. I apologize, but so this is Joann's Big Twist in white and medium gray. I do feel like I had like a flower, crocheted flower that you sewed on it, which I omitted, I think. Then it has little booties, which is in also Joann's. They probably look like they're different sizes. I'm like such a terrible maker. They look terrible. They're very cute though. And oops, and then it comes with a lightsaber. It is a pink lightsaber. I actually don't know if Princess Leia had a pink, like I don't know what color her lightsaber was. Did she have a lightsaber even? I don't even remember. I've seen the movies. I actually did not see the movies until I was well into adulthood after I got married. And I don't really remember them. So this is Joann's Big Twist in bubblegum, black, varsity red, and I think that's all of it. So this little set is going to the babes. Okay, on to sewing. I don't sew. I must sew, right? If I sewed something, I really don't. I don't know anything about sewing. So this is my machine. I will move these things out of the way so we can show her off. You may have seen this in the background of my last podcast that I filmed with my sister, but I didn't talk about her, but I shall talk about her now. I love that little bell. It sounds so friendly. Okay, so this is my machine. She comes in a cabinet where she like folds down, and this comes, you know, over like a desk. And then there are drawers on this side. I'm not going to move the camera around because I feel like it's really hard to like get the camera back where it's supposed to be. But it's in a desk basically. She's a domestic, series 153. She was handmade in Ohio in 1949. So she is 73 years old this year. This has been described, if you look it up, as the Rolls Royce of sewing machines because it is all handmade, and all of the pieces on it are like this on the wheel. It's not called a wheel. I don't know what it's called. I don't sew. Is all sterling silver. The very cool thing about this is that it is all handmade. I think that's why they call it the Rolls Royce. I think Rolls Royces are handmade. Are they not? Correct me if I'm wrong. And it is also very unique in that you can set the stitch length differently if you're going forward or backward. A lot of the machines at the time, I'm sure, did not have that option. So that's very cool. You can set them separately. This is where the tension is. I'm just going to show you the little things I know. No. Okay. So how I got this machine is, a friend of mine's mother died, and his father had died, you know, a few years ago, and then his mother had died, and he was cleaning her house out and had asked me if I was interested in her sewing machine. I don't remember if we had had a conversation prior to this about her sewing. She was a very, I think, very talented seamstress. She quilted. And he described her as a hoarder. I don't know. I didn't know her, but I had said something about being interested. I can't really remember being interested in learning how to sew or something. I can't really remember. And he had asked me if I wanted her sewing machine, and I immediately said yes. I had no idea what condition it was in. I knew nothing about it, and I was like, yes, I want it. I didn't know where I was going to put it. I have never sewn a day in my life. So in school, when I was in school, we had home economics. I don't know if they still call it that. Apparently you're supposed to learn how to sew. I don't remember anything about home ec except making macaroni and cheese. That's the only thing I remember. And my teacher got really mad at somebody for using all of the soap in the Brillo pad when doing the dishes afterwards. But anyway, that's all I remember. So I didn't learn how to sew. I didn't learn how to thread a machine. I knew nothing about it, and I wanted it. I am not a sentimental person. I can very easily let go of things. There's a couple of things that I get sentimental about, but not, you know, I wouldn't consider myself a sentimental person or someone who loves antiques. I don't hate antiques. I just am not an antique lover. Who hates antiques? I hate antiques. Anyway, but for some reason, when I was offered this, I was like, I have to have it. I don't even know where I'm going to put it. I don't sew. I don't know what I'm doing. I have to have that in my home. I don't know what happened. So my friend's mother's name is Bernadette, so I did name her Bernadette. I call her Bernie for short. And I can't speak to whether or not she was a hoarder. I did go to her home to pick this up. I would not have looked at it and thought it was hoarder status, but I do know that they had cleaned it out quite a bit when I had gotten there. I would describe it as a time capsule. When you walked into the kitchen, it was like legit 1950s, straight out of 1950s. I mean, it's probably 60s too. There was a rotary telephone on the wall in the kitchen. I was like, can I have that phone? And I guess I'm not really like an antique-y person or a sentimental person, but I do happen to like mid-century. Like, I don't know, it's something about the 50s and 60s I like really, really love. I don't know, it's like weird. It's a very weird thing. But anyways, I really like that period in American history too. Like, I got super into JFK at one point. I was like reading all kinds of books and like learning all about him. I even read 1 Minute to Midnight, which is not about, it's not about Kennedy. It's about the Cuban Missile Crisis, but like Kennedy was president during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And I legit brought that book on vacation as my vacation reading. I digress. We're talking about Bernie. So I think he called her a hoarder because she saved everything. And that's where I was going with the time capsule comment. She literally, I should do like a whole video just about Bernie because what this machine came with is insane. I'll do a video. I'll do a video later about Bernadette. But it came with the original manual. It came with a bunch of different sewing books. It came with a bunch of attachments because the other thing about this machine is that it only sews straight. It doesn't do zigzag or anything like that. But it came with a whole bunch of attachments. I'm gonna do a sewing machine tour because I really feel like I should honor this machine. So getting back to business and what I've made for the baby. So I did sew a couple of things. So, I don't know because my sister also sewed some things for my cousin and never actually gifted them. So she gave them to me to send to the new baby. So I don't know if I should start with them or end with them. I guess I'm just going to go through the pile. So I sewed a couple of Burp Rags. My sister, Sarah, who is the reluctant podcaster, she, gave me a bunch of fabric to sew, and she also gave me the template that my great aunt used to make Burp Rags, and so that's what I did. So this is the shape of the Burp Rag, and look at how darling. Oh my gosh, I love it so much, like so much. And then it's just like pink on the back. This is felt. No, it's not felt. What do I not know what this is? Flannel. I think I keep wanting to call it felt and it's not. It's flannel. I think when my sister Sarah was making Burp Rags for my sister Amy, who is the only sister in our family that has children, she would do flannel on the back side and just regular on the front side so that it would stay on your shoulder. And then my sister Amy said that she really liked the flannel because it was very absorbent. So she had requested flannel on both sides. So that's how my sister Sarah generally, I think makes Burp Rags even for other people. So that's the way I did it. And this is that. I made another Burp Rag that is Star Wars. So it has stormtroopers and little Darth Vader. And then the back is also pink because it's a girl. Hello. Sorry. I know people are probably going to be bothered by the fact that I use pink because it's a girl and something about gender. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be like insensitive. It is sewn very poorly, like very, very poorly. And I feel terribly about that. But what am I going to do? Not send it? What am I going to do with Burp Rags? I don't have babies. And then I made a blanket because she had actually given me a bunch of fabric when I had gotten the sewing machine. She had given me a bunch of fabric and then I just kind of put it away and didn't even really play around with it. And so I actually had enough fabric to make a blanket. So I made a receiving blanket and I do have a Cricut that I split the cost of with a friend. And so we have joint custody of the Cricut and it is currently with her. But I did make the baby's name and I ironed it on. So it's little llamas. And then the back side is hot pink. So I made a blanket. And then my sister made some things, like I said, that she didn't end up gifting to somebody else. And so she had given me these to give to the baby, and they are sewn much better. They have a little zigzag edge, which I could do technically on my machine because I do have an attachment, but I've never done it before and I seriously need to practice. But this is the blanket and this is the Burp Rag. And it's so cute. Let me flip it right side up. And the blanket has the same fabric and the same backside, which is just dark blue. And it looks much better than... I think I'm gonna have to write my little letter, like, please don't judge me. And that's it. That's all I've made. You see where I feel like, but I guess not, because I have 2 blankets, 4 Burp Rags. and a costume. I don't know. I just feel like I should have like knit or crochet her something else. But like I said, I can do that and send it later. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Oh, my sister actually did make a sheet too. I think it's a sheet set, so I think it is a flat sheet and a fitted sheet for a crib. I know you're not supposed to put blankets in, but like later when the bed is converted to a toddler bed, you're not going to give them a sheet. But so that's why she did it. But anyway, but she wrapped it in tissue paper so that it wouldn't get all messed up. And I did open it once already to show my husband. Oh my gosh. Look how cute that is. And this isn't flannel, it's just like regular. Oh, so cute. That's it. That's my baby knits. And I'm hoping to wrap them up today or tomorrow and get them out. It is like frigidly cold out. I mean, it's not the coldest. I have friends where they live where it's colder, but it's about 18 degrees today, Fahrenheit. And so, if you don't know Fahrenheit, why do I like fool myself into thinking that I have like this international following? But if you don't know Fahrenheit, 32 degrees is freezing. So it's like 18 degrees. And I don't want to leave the house. So I'm not going to mail it today. I'll mail it when it gets a little warmer. It's going to be like 43 on Thursday. It's going to be downright balmy. I'll put my shorts and tank top on and go to the post office. That will complete my mini-sode, which isn't that mini. It's half an hour. And that's all. I will do another episode where I kind of go through all of the little accoutrements that came with my free sewing machine. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys next time.